all the punishments thought up by crazy foul-mouthed pirates, the strangest didn't happen in the Caribbean, but in North Africa. 170 years before there was a Blackbeard, there was Baba Merzoug, Redbeard, who turned Algiers into the deadly base of the Barbary pirates. These cursing Muslim corsairs loved silver like any other sea dogs, but for them, piracy was about people. Christian Westerners taken at sea were dragged back to Algeria and imprisoned until Spanish, French, Dutch and English priests turned up to buy their freedom. By July 1683, enough was enough. Algiers' corsair ships had attacked the French 22 times in the past year, enslaving 300 crew and passengers. King Louis XIV of France sent Admiral Abraham Duchesne to bomb Algiers from sea and punish the Muslim corsairs for their terrifying raids. Houses, mosques and pirate ships were wrecked and ruined. It was then that a man of the Christian God, Father Levas, was grabbed. He would take the rap for the French attack. Levas had given 35 years of his life doing God's work on the Barbary coast. He was known for being trustworthy, dealing with the Islamic rulers in a respectful way. Now none of that mattered. Levas was in the middle of negotiating the release of French captives when the bombs started falling. The priest was accused of treason, passing intelligence to the enemy. And on July 29, 1683, the frenzied pirate mob strapped Levas to the mouth of a bronze cannon and blew him sky high. This weapon of death had been built in Algiers in 1542 by a master founder from Venice. The horrifying gun even had its own name, Baba Merzoug, meaning Blessed Father, for its godly work protecting the city from invasions. The supergun weighed 12 tons, was 7 meters long, and could fire an 80-kilogram missile 5 kilometers out towards enemy ships. One of the scariest murders ever handed down by pirates was very creative, but it was a very old type of terror. Death by cannon fire was invented by the Portuguese explorer and soldier Francisco de Almeida in India around the year 1509. Africans enslaved by Portuguese colonists in Mozambique were sometimes blown from guns as a spectacular execution to scare off would-be army mutineers. Other countries followed Portugal's lead when no other punishment would do. Afghanistan used execution by cannon as the ultimate deterrent into the 20th century. In Persia, Iran today, when a condemned prisoner was executed by gunfire, he was said to be made into the breath of a cannon. And then in 1764, British forces in India executed 24 mutineers by cannon to deter copycats after an entire army battalion deserted. And this is how death by cannon fire really worked. A gun was loaded with a blank cartridge and the condemned tied by ropes against the gun, their back pressed against its mouth. The executioner then lit the powder charge, violently dismembering the victim. Job done. And one spectator remembered an execution by cannon fire like this. When the gun is fired, his head is seen to go straight up into the air, some 40 or 50 feet. The arms fly off right and left, high up in the air, and fall at perhaps 100 yards distance. The legs drop off to the ground beneath the muzzle of the gun, and the body is literally blown away altogether, not a vestige being seen. And then the local dogs would rush in and eat the body parts. All this evil was done in the knowledge that death by cannon fire was the only justice which terrified the locals. If a man was hung or shot, friends or relatives could still give the victim a proper funeral and send him into the afterlife. Death by cannon blew the body into 1,000 pieces, making the victim unable to reach heaven. In the case of Jean Levas in Algiers, there was no mutineering mob to scare. The priest seems to have been killed in a fit of fury, just for the hell of it. But that's not the end of the tale. The story lives on today. In 1830, French forces captured the pirates' lair of Algiers once and for all, and shipped the Barbary pirates' deadly cannon to their naval dockyard at Brest as a prize of war. The gun was set up pointing into the sky, a cockerel standing proudly on top of it as a memorial to France's military strength. Only now, Algiers decided it wants its national heritage sent back home as important patrimony, but France prefers to keep it as a symbol of those victims of colonization. So centuries after history happened, the pirates' punishment echoes across the modern world. Join us next time for more pirate punishments, and until then, please don't forget to subscribe to Wreckwatch TV, like this video, and clang the notification bell, or make you walk the plank.